Just waking up, and I'm here for a specific reason. I want to talk to you about shit. Where does it come from? Well, when two shits love each other very much, shits come from shitholes. So Donald Trump said shithole, and global panic ensued, and the stock market crashed, and people were jumping out of buildings. So let's just get through some of the basics here, and I think it's all kind of obvious. The idea that a president of the United States would speak in this language is insane. There's no excuse for it. It is demonstrably stupid, classless, damaging, and totally devoid of grace or forethought. Now, this is just a Tuesday for Trump. This is not a big... He does this all the time. He ran doing this. Donald Trump is an abomination. Donald Trump sucks balls, which is why I made a t-shirt, and I'm now selling it, and it's this shithole. He's the shithole. Doesn't mean he's wrong about Haiti, though. Okay, so let's look. This month, I did 3 videos about Haiti. A bunch of black racists made some half-ass movie about how glorious the Haitian Revolution was. And the entire thing is watching black people kill and behead and rape and torture white people. But with the moral high ground, because slavery. And it was racism porn, and they enjoyed it. Now, I made a video critiquing that. That video was responded to by 2 of these black racists, Tariq Nasheed and some bitch. In my videos, and in my reaction videos to their videos, I go into great detail as to how and why Haiti is a shithole, poking a hole in their idea that the first black republic to overthrow its white overseers was somehow a symbol of greatness and a representation of black power and black victory, when in actuality it is one of the poorest countries in the world, has performed woefully bad since the French left, and is one of the last places on earth you would want to visit and live in. So yeah, you can call that a shithole. I think the story becomes interesting when you see how rabid people are to want to call Donald Trump a racist. They've been doing this ever since he came on the public scene, politically. Because it's just too convenient. The man's rich, the man's white. Done. They're done. Enough evidence has been compiled. He's a racist. So what is it about this statement that is racist? And I'm the first to grant you, it is ignorant, it is sloppy, it is not well thought out, it is crass, it is unpresidential, it is unconstructive, it is unsophisticated. If you're talking immigration policy and you say, why should we have people from Haiti coming in? I mean, it is such a bull in a china shop mentality. Let it be known that just because your country is shit doesn't mean that all the people living in that country are shit. In fact, the ones that want to leave that country will be the first to tell you that they are leaving a shithole. It's not even in dispute. That's what I love. They say, aha, we got the smoking gun on Trump. Well, what is it? He called Haiti a shithole. It is a shithole. Ask the Haitians. Ask the Dominicans who don't want the Haitians coming in. So if the Dominicans who live on the same island don't want the Haitians coming in, are they racist? It's just bullshit. What they have done with Trump here, who can and should be targeted for many reasons, they are smearing him for being the messenger of something true. And trying to extrapolate that he's racist because what? Because why? Oh, well, there's another side to this. Not only did he say we shouldn't have Haitians come in, he said, why don't we have more people from Norway coming in? Oh, and there's the smoking gun. Because Norway's white. So he wants more whites, less blacks. Is that what he said? No. Norway is the antithesis of a shithole. It's a great country, so great, in fact, that it doesn't want to send its people to us because our country is inferior to it. In fact, over the last 10 years, there's been under 1,000 people from Norway who became U.S. citizens, and a very similar number of Americans who became Norwegian citizens. So it was just a throwaway line, he said. I think he had met with the Norwegian ambassador that week, so it was on the mind. But he also mentioned South Korea, and I believe Japan, during the same interview, saying, why don't we have more people from those countries? Now, those are not white countries. Now, Trump doesn't get credit for that. That's not a point in favor of him not being a racist. And in fact, is not mentioned by anybody trying to smear the man. And again, we're talking about a guy who there is a million things to criticize about. And yet I see people try to label him as the one thing that they don't have evidence for. It's like saying Hitler, yeah, bastard, real fuck up, huh? Yeah, that fucking pedophile. Wait, but Hitler wasn't a pedophile. Now, during this chaos, is it useful for somebody to point out, like, wait a minute, your criticism is bullshit, even if the target is, in fact, a shithole of a guy? I think that's a worthwhile thing to do. I think this is part of a larger discussion, which is a very hard thing to contemplate, which is, who do we let into our country and why? What's the criteria? Are we supposed to believe that we are blind to the stats, to the trends, to the very rudimentary idea that not all countries are created equal? The people in those countries do not have the same level of tendency towards criminal behavior, IQ, skills that could contribute to the society, religious beliefs that spit in the face of our values and will be impossible to assimilate into our culture, and will pose a massive threat in terms of violence and terror, not to mention trample on women's rights, gay rights, and human rights. Those are considerations that are all completely valid. So in other words, oh yeah, we'll take a few from each of these countries, sure. Oh yeah, a few Somalis. Oh, let's get some Sudanese up in here, some Haitians, some Muslims. Yeah. If those numbers get too high, guess what you're going to have on your hands? There's every reason to believe you will have a situation like Somalia, like the Sudan, like Haiti, and like a Muslim country, which means your country will descend into being a shithole. That is a real concern. We have evidence of this. And just so all of y'all know, this is not a white-black issue. This is not a race issue. This is a reality issue. So if you're talking about Nigerians moving in, it does matter if they're Muslim Nigerians or Christian Nigerians. It does matter. In fact, I live in Melbourne right now. You know what's going on in Melbourne? There are birds singing, the sun is shining, and everybody's getting along. It's a multi-ethnic, multinational place. Every race is here, and everybody's just joyfully coexisting, except certain Africans. Certain Africans. Now, is that my idea? No, that's just reality. It's the same Africans who have been running a crime spree around Melbourne and have ramped up the death and machete killings and drug-related gang warfare over the past decade. There's a couple big gangs of Africans. One's called Menace to Society. The other is called Apex. I believe they're mostly made up of Sudanese. You see these cats. Very thin. Very black. Now, as I'm Ubering around town, I sometimes talk to my Uber drivers. My Uber drivers are 9 times out of 10 not white. What is their concern? They see the news reports. They know what's happening in this city. They're concerned about these African gangs. Are they racists? No, I don't think so. Talk to an Indian guy. Looks kind of like a Pakistani guy. No, but he's an Indian guy. Big difference. What was his concern? His concern was whether or not he could stay in the country. He was a student, 24 years old. He had invested $70,000 into his education. He pays his taxes. He works hard in this country, wants to stay, wants to have a life. It's going to be very difficult for him to do that. He's going to need to have an employer vouch for him. Meanwhile, these Africans, many of them refugees, they get a free pass. Even when they commit a crime, they don't get kicked out. No, they stay. I had an Uber the other night from an African. Dude was from Senegal. Nice guy. We had a nice conversation. I told him I was in Senegal a couple years ago. We had an entire back and forth about my visit there, and yeah, we were bonding. And he has a major problem with the Sudanese African gangsters, as anybody would and should. Because reality matters. It does matter who is doing what. Who is fucking up the country? Who is committing the crimes? Who is killing people? Now, I don't care if the answer to those questions make you uncomfortable because it tends to be from a certain race. That's your problem. Reality doesn't give a fuck. So if I were to tell you, of all the suburbs in Melbourne, there's one that's basically a shithole. The rest, pretty damn good. You can't go wrong with most of these suburbs. The one that's a shithole is Footscray. Now, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Footscray. Footscray. We got to send in the sweetie man to say, fuck you.
Hello, little guy. It's the sweetie man coming. Fuck, look at this train. Fuck it. Thomas, keep the gun on him. He's definitely a criminal.
Now, Footscray, I haven't been there, but I hear it's mostly black. And it sucks. Now, if you were to call me a racist for that, please tell me how that would work. What is it about my message about reality that is racist? Are you in denial that there's a place called Footscray? No? Okay. Are you aware that it is a shithole? Oh, you agree to that? Okay. And you understand that there are black people who live there? The majority. So how is it anything to do with me to make a statement that is a reflection of a simple, observable fact? That is not racism. That is honesty. So no, Donald Trump is not a racist because he thinks Haiti is a shithole. He has a moronic idea of how immigration policy should work, and he is completely ass backwards on how to converse, how to speak about such an issue in public as the most powerful man in the world. This is just a catastrophe. I don't even think he actually thinks before he talks. And even if he were to think, that's no guarantee that what he says is going to be any better. Let's look at a couple tweets here. Cenk Uygur says, it's not just that racist piece of trash, real Donald Trump, called predominantly black countries shitholes. I thought it was just Haiti. What do you mean predominantly black? A predominantly black country? Oh, I mean, if you want to extend it to Africa, yeah, there's many shitholes to go around. It's also that he picked Norway as his example of a good country. Well, Norway is a good country. He also picked Korea, so that sort of refutes your point there. Norway is massively liberal, so it definitely isn't about politics. So wait, you think Donald Trump was judging the success of a country based on its politics? What a stupid man you are. Nobody does that. What? What are you saying? Oh, Canada, that's not a good country. Why? Because Trudeau's president and he's not on the right. But what does that have to do with their economy? Their standard of living, their infrastructure, their life expectancy, their access to healthcare, their public transportation, their free Wi-Fi, their crime rates. There's a million other factors that go into why a country is considered a good country or a bad country, and has nothing to do with whether it's liberal or conservative. But Genk is so obsessed with the left-right dichotomy that he views everything through that lens. But look at him, he's trying to get the gotcha racism thing. What else is Norway? Massively white! Boo! Boo for the Norwegians! Fuck the Norwegians. Yes, Genk, it's a massively white country that is doing unbelievably better than predominantly black countries. Just one of almost every one you can come up with is going to be doing way better on all of those metrics than a black country. Whose fault is that? Is that Norway's fault? Is that my fault for knowing that? Or how about this one? This is some next level shit. Is it the fault of the black countries? Ooh. Oh, fuck. Is that fair? Can we hold them accountable for how well their societies work? Fuck, dude. That was fucking brutality. Oh, too soon. They've only had millions of years. So, no, that is not racist what Donald Trump has said. Do you want to see a tweet that is racist? Here, I'll show you. Richard Spencer, always the provocateur, has pinned this tweet, and he has a Norwegian flag. Funny, I didn't think he had Norwegian heritage. Oh, he's a racist, right. No, but he's trying to be edgy, and he's trying to say, look, I'm going to stick it in the face of all those people. So he says, I must come to the defense of #Haiti. It's a potentially beautiful and productive country. The problem is that it's filled with shithole people. If the French dominated, they could make it great again. #Make Haiti great again. So, calling the people of Haiti shithole people, yeah, that's excessively insulting and racist. And he did it for effect, I'm assuming. He knows what he's doing. So, Haiti is a shithole. That's not racist to say. The people of Haiti are shithole people. Yeah, that's racist. Not to mention the fact that shit is brown and black people are not actually black. Some of them are around here, actually. I've seen some straight up just black, jet black. But they're brown as well. Now, on this image, the shit is orange. I suggest you buy it. I mean, obviously, you guys are all Trump people, so you're not going to buy this. But if you're not a Trump person, send it. Put it on your Facebook. Your liberal mom and dad will appreciate the post. It's it's good times. This video has gone on too long. I'm verbose, and that is verboten. So I'm going to do another video because the Young Turks had a ridiculous fucking thing on this. But that will be in the future. For now, I bid you farewell. Donka choose. Talk to you later. Bye.
Damn it, you got me. I tried to get up.